Welcome back to my channel for another wreath tutorial video. Today we are constructing this 4th of July wreath, and as we get ready for the 4th of July holiday coming up, this is going to be the perfect thing to display on your front door. So stay tuned as we construct this with Deco mesh and lots of festive ribbon. Here are all of the supplies we're using for this wreath. When I first got started making wreaths, I always found it a little bit difficult to find all the supplies that I was looking for and know where to go to find them. So I'm linking for you down below a list to all the supplies, including the ribbon, the deco mesh, the sign, and the wreath form. I recommend getting your supplies online versus in craft stores. The quality of them is better, I think, and this wreath form is an example. This wreath form is much thicker and the twist ties are on there really securely, but the biggest difference is in the thickness, which is going to give you a much fuller wreath. So the first thing we're going to do is take our 10-inch red and white check deco mesh. I'm going to use my rotary cutter, give it a nice clean edge there before I start. And then what I'm going to do is cut this into 10-inch strips of mesh. So you're going to have a 10 by 10 inch section of deco mesh, and I'm going to do this 18 times. So I'm going to have 18 strips of the red and white. I'm going to do the same thing with this navy blue deco mesh. This has a foil running through it, so it gives it that little bit of shimmer in the sunshine. Looks really fun on a front door. So going ahead and cutting 10-inch strips of this one as well. Now we've got all of our pieces of mesh already cut. So I'm going to start with the red and white check, and I'm going to start by rolling it up into a little roll. And then I'm going to take my navy and do the same while holding the red and white check. I'm going to put them together just like this, and then I'm going to open up one of the twist ties. I'm going to twist it in, give it a couple of good twists, and then we're just going to keep moving on to the rest of the twist ties. Here we have all the curlicues into place, and I am thinking it needs a little something extra. So I'm going to add some red deco mesh to this as well. I'm adding this red deco mesh, which is the same as the navy. It has a red foil running through it. I am going to cut this into 10-inch strips, just like I did with the other deco mesh. All right, we're going to do the same thing. Just roll up all of your strips of red and just untwist the twist ties and stick them right on top of the other deco mesh you've got going on. Okay, I love how this turned out. This is much more full and colorful, so we're going to go ahead and add the ribbon and the sign to the middle. To prepare our sign to attach to the wreath, most signs come with some kind of a string or wire attached to the back, and we don't really want this because it's not going to be useful. So I'm just going to use my wire cutters and clip that off and get the little wire that's left over there. And then we're going to go ahead and turn it around to the back. And then I'm gonna take my chenille stems and my staple gun, and I'm going to fasten those to the sign. So on the very edge, I'm going to staple the chenille stem in 2 places. and make sure it's on there nice and tight. I'm gonna do it on both sides. And then I'm gonna give the chenille stems just a few twists around the staples. That just secures it into place. I'm gonna wait until I have my ribbon all in place before I put the sign on. And these are the 4 ribbons that we are using. We've got 2 2.5 inch and 2 1.5 inch. And I love how these coordinate with the sign as well as the deco mesh. Again, I have the supply list linked down below for you so you can see where I purchased all of these items from. I want to measure how long I am going to need to cut these ribbon strips. So I'm placing it right on top of one of the twist ties and just kind of estimating about how long I want the ribbon to be. I want it to stick out just enough above the mesh so you can see it, but not too far. And these ended up being 14 inches, was just about perfect. I'm going to start cutting my ribbon into the 14-inch strips, and I'm going to cut 9 of each of the ribbon. Okay, I've got all the ribbon cut. The next step is to dovetail the ends. So in order to do that, I'm going to fold it over in the middle lengthwise, and then I'm going to cut it from the fold to the outer corner, and I'm going to do that on both ends of the ribbon. Okay, let's start putting it together. So I'm going to take one of the 2.5 inch with one of the 1.5 inch, and I like the red stars with the blue and red and white stripe, and then I like the blue and white chevron with a red and white check. So what we're going to do is start putting those into the wreath. So how I do this is I go ahead and locate one of the twist ties. I pinch the ribbon in the middle, open up the twist tie, and then I'm just going to stick it right in there and give it a couple of good twists. After I put the ribbon in, I'm going to take the ribbon and just separate them out, making an X. For the next twist tie over, I'm going to change the ribbon to the next set, which is the red stars with the stripes, and I'm going to just do the same thing that I did on the other one, untwist the tie, twist it back in, form an X with the ribbon. And just keep going in the same way all the way around the wreath on the inner and the outer ring. Okay, we've got all the ribbon assembled. This is really, really cute, and it's ready for our sign. So placing the sign right in the center, we're going to attach it to the wreath frame. So I'm going to locate my chenille stems on each side that we've already prepared, and I'm going to kind of find a spot amongst the deco mesh and all the ribbon. I'm going to push that aside, and I'm locating the actual frame of the wreath, the inner circle, and that's how I'm going to attach the chenille stems, is I'm going to wrap those right around the wreath frame. Give those chenille stems a couple of good twists. Turn the wreath over so that now we're looking at the back side, and you want to locate those chenille stems and pull those in just a little bit tighter, and once you do, you can give them some more twists so it's on nice and securely. Turn your wreath back around and just take a minute to fluff the ribbon and that got kind of pressed down because of the sign. Trim off any excess little strings hanging out, and it's all finished, and I think it looks great. You now have a custom looking designer wreath that will be so fun and festive for your front door this 4th of July. If this video was helpful to you, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for new wreath tutorials every Tuesday and Friday. See you guys later.